Well, the Bengals had a chance, but they kind of yellow snowed that one away, if you catch my drift. Where that leaves the Ravens and Steelers as power shifts in the AFC North.
Oh, the NFC North was the highlight game of the day. Bears and Packers. Maybe Caleb's not ready for prime time, but these two teams could be leading this division for years to come.
All the wacky results and some expected as week 14, we try to pick up the pieces as some football podcasters may be looking forward to greener pastures on Sunday Scaries with Buccs McGee.
So when spring training start? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Pitchers and catchers, let's report. Let's get it going. I'm done.
Yeah, I Bucks McGee. I have to agree that I find that Week 14 has cast a long shadow upon my optimism that the season is not in fact over. It is over.
Sometimes you just got to come to the realization that your team just doesn't have it. Sometimes you're a contender, then you find out you're a pretender, and it's time to move on and think positive parts. So spring, things bloom, spring training, let's get it going. I'm ready.
Yes.
Go Rays, baby.
Blooming indeed. It's just not. What's not blooming, of course, is our outlook as December is barely a week old.
Yeah, no, this is like a bad elephant trading. You know, the thing you get, the elephant game they play when you go to like Christmas parties. What's it
Yeah,
called? The elephant, whatever it's called, the elephant.
white
The
elephant.
white elephant. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I bought a bad gift on purpose, and that's what I got stuck with.
You can't even regift it.
You can't regift Todd Bowles. You can't regift them. Nope, not at all.
Oh baby, oh baby. Well,
So let's get going.
I have the perfect way to follow that up because based on what's happened this week with the Titans and the Saints, and we'll deep dive in those a little bit later on. But I have the perfect theory to prove that the NFL is the biggest rig job known to man here. Somehow that we joke about. Of course, the ironic part is this week the Jets lost, but we've joked in the past that the Jets never know when to just stack the L's. Apparently, this week neither do the Titans, neither do the Saints. I have a theory that, especially with what happened to the Bears this week, the Rams have now retaken the number 1 seed. They are going to hold on to that.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford is going to win the MVP undisputed.
Mm-hmm.
Largely, and nothing against Drake May, but let's face it, the Patriots haven't played anybody.
Okay. Okay.
The Rams are going to run through the playoffs. They are going to win the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford's going to ride off into the sunset, much like Ray Lewis, much like Jerome Bettis, much like Michael Strahan, the latest all-time greats to win a Super Bowl on their way out the door.
Okay.
And somehow, one of your favorite hated teams, the Atlanta Falcons, are going to find a way to get the number 1 pick, ironically enough, hand that pick over to the Los Angeles Rams, and the City of Angels will have the second coming of Fernando Mania. One franchise quarterback to another, just like that.
Wow. So you're telling me that starting Thursday night, the drive for the Rams number 1 pick starts basically in Tampa Bay.
Yes.
So you're putting your hope that Todd Bowles is going to coach a quality game and that the Falcons are going to lose. Wow.
Well, see,
Okay.
this is the thing. I don't think Todd Bowles actually has to coach a quality game for the Falcons to lose. I think
Okay.
Todd Bowles can be his most incompetent self, and the Bucks will still manage to beat Atlanta.
All right. So I've heard it here. We're going to go with this, and we're going to see. Come week 17, I'm going to look at you with your headgear here, and unbelievable. All right. All right. We'll
This
see.
is my
We'll see.
this is my theory to prove the NFL as the biggest rig job.
All right. And if it does happen, then you are right. And at that point, why even bother rooting? At that point, Rams jerseys and whoever they take at number one, there it is.
Yeah. Well, we could still root. We could still be fans, so to speak, but we need to adjust our fanhood to that of WWE instead of professional team sports as history has known it.
Wow. So I've got to just fake the whole thing. I just have to like their entrances and their gear, their catchphrases, and have no type of hope and emotion for a win. Like if they lose, oh well, that's cool. There's always next week.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. All right, cool. All right, here we are. Great.
All right. I'm going to remove this ridiculous thing as I look like a Nola from Waterworld's landed on the moon.
Oh Lord, week 14 it just does it to everybody.
There it is. There it is. And of course, I'm in a pretty spry mood and trying to keep my pessimism in check because, as expected, my Colts got absolutely smacked in Jacksonville, but it has a bit more bitter pill to swallow than your typical loss, as Daniel Jones appears to have suffered what's early reported as an Achilles tear, and that will likely be a season-ending injury.
Um. Yeah, it sucks. The promise. That the Colts. On this ride that they've had for the last 11, 12 weeks. The fans were into it. We all were into it. It was Indiana Jones. My question is once this injury was found out, and I guess it took place, in the KC game, why wasn't it handled properly? Because I think basically what happened, and I'm no doctor or anything like that, he was probably compensating
Right.
for the fibula injury, and everyone knows literally in the NFL, you can see a guy just walk across the field and just pop an ACL. That's just how common the injury is nowadays. So, yeah. And I can respect Daniel Jones, trying to tough it out for his guys and all that, but you have to look long term. And if it was a situation where it was bothering him enough, this fibula, where he could have said, you know what, let me sit a game, I think it probably would have been in a better spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and it's tough because they also didn't really plan on an injury like this happening, because your backup was Anthony Richardson, who's largely been a bust. He gets hurt anyway, so that goes completely out the window, even if maybe he had learned something sitting on the bench watching Dimes. And your next best option is this Riley Leonard kid, which is no disrespect to the kid. He came from Notre Dame. Normally that produces solid quarterbacks, but at the same time, the odds of Riley Leonard becoming the next Tom Brady out of the 6th round are extremely slim to none. So they didn't exactly. And a funny note that I just heard on Sunday Night Football is that their emergency quarterback is Tyler Warren. So they had zero planning.
Oh, I need to see Tyler Warren. Bring him in. Oh my goodness, I'm putting him on Prize Picks. This man's gonna do it. Tyler Warren.
So even if they had rested Daniel Jones, even if they had done the smart and responsible thing, I don't know whether it would have made a difference. I think our season would have been derailed just the same.
I don't know. Like, depending how bad this fibula. Now, mind you, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I've never had a busted up fibula or anything like that. But How long ago was the Chiefs game? Now, if you had rested him, changed up the game plan, definitely went with more of a run, Riley, kind of, short pass kind of deal. Maybe it's the same, maybe, the record doesn't change, but at least, Danny Dimes can come back and you have somewhat of a chance towards the end of the season. So I think in that instance, something could have been done, but now you find out what Riley Leonard is, because I don't think AR's getting any kind of touches. He's still hurt, I believe, unless they want to go Tyler Warren and just go crazy with it. But yeah, it sucks, and it's one of those things now where you just maybe this offense is going to be. It's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be heavy run, and we'll see what Riley can do. He was decent in Notre Dame for what they did. Notre Dame really hasn't had quality guys coming out the last few years. It's been serviceable. So we'll see. Who knows? Maybe Joe Flacco gets dropped, and you guys can bring him back for one last hurrah.
Oh gosh. Like he wasn't an embarrassment enough when he was here the first time.
So it's he did his best. The guy just came off the couch, man. You got to give him something. But
no, he came off the Browns. He came off the Browns, which may also be the couch. But
yeah, true. But yeah, at the end of the day, you hate to say, it's the season's done. That you guys still, you guys aren't out of it, but yeah, this is a death. It's a serious blow. So it's going to be regrouping. I think you're going to see a lot. It's going to be a lot of run and short pass, and just he's going to be, Leonard will be a game manager, and you try to, play at least some try to get to play 500 ball the rest of the season.
I might have a little more confidence if I saw some, decent play calling out of Steichen of late, but because you think back, okay, he was able to almost get this team to the playoffs with Uncle Rico. You think a rookie quarterback who's been sitting behind an established veteran all season, he's probably picked up something. You could probably have that dialed down game plan, but Shane Steichen's not exactly. I don't think he's in getting fired, but if this season goes even more sour to the close, he'll definitely be putting himself on the hot seat for next year.
I don't know if he's hot seat. When your quarterback goes down like that, I think it almost buys you the excuse. Yeah, basically, because the head coach can say, if you were to fire him, you're like, okay, well, you fired me, but I didn't have my number one guy for the last 4.5 games. So what can I do? Now, the other side of that is, okay, well, you guys knew he got hurt in the Kansas City game, so why didn't you guys kind of figure it out and not let him, try to tough it out? Something should have been done. Something should have been done. He probably should have sat at least a game or two.
Yeah, it's a lack of leadership, if nothing else.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. If they can play 400, and the way the AFC's going, who knows? It's still the wild card's still, still a possibility for sure, I would think.
Yeah, and actually, barring what happens with the Chiefs game, if for some reason, Houston were to lose, the Colts would still maintain the 7th seed because Kansas City's, with their losing streak.
See, there's hope in Indy yet.
Yes, I try to find the silver lining. It's a kind of a rusted silver lining. It needs some polish, but
this is what you have to practice saying in the mirror. You look yourself in the mirror. Tyler Warner, Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah, he'll still be playing tight end, so he will literally be behind center, toss it up, run down the field, catch it himself.
Hey, in the NBA, if you can throw yourself an alley-oop off the backboard, anything is possible.
That's right. or wild card offense with JT taking the snaps and throwing to Ty Warren or something.
Hey, you know what? It's that magical run. That's all you need. And if the bracket falls right.
Yes, yeah, that's true. So speaking of that wild AFC, I wasn't expecting this game to take place in a snowstorm, but it was funny because it's not like Cincinnati's a tropical climate by any stretch of the imagination. But Joe Burrow certainly looked like, for most of this game, certainly looked like he was more accustomed to snow than Josh Allen.
Yeah, honestly, halfway through that game, I'm like, I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. Cincinnati's putting that nail in that coffin, it's looking like. And lo and behold, Josh decided to put the Superman cape on. And yet again, it's one of those games where there's all offense, no defense. And we've talked about it, Cincinnati special right there. Score all
Yeah.
those points, give up a few more. And all of a sudden, Buffalo's adopted that mantra and said, you know what? We can just score a little more than you can.
Right, and I was fully expecting us watching the majority of this game. We were gonna welcome the Bills back to the penthouse, and I'm still not totally ready to move them out of the lobby because Josh Allen did everything in this game, like
Yeah.
everything. Cook had a decent game, but he wasn't a game breaker by any stretch of the imagination. And the biggest plays in this game were two plays where Cincinnati just decided to have nobody on the left side of the field, and Josh took off for about 40 yards.
Yeah. It was, yeah. It's almost like they won, but you put a little asterisk next to it. It's like, yeah, but it was Cincinnati. You
Yeah,
know, and it's like, okay, well, Buffalo's defense was putrid. The weather was bad, but they still were able to pull it out. So you give them credit for that. You know, they're playing for their lives. Let's be realistic. Buffalo's playing for their playoff lives at this point. And, Cincinnati, they, hang their hat. Joe's back, but at the end of the day, they can score, but they can't stop a nosebleed. So it was like, all right. So Buffalo got the win, like they were supposed to. It wasn't pretty. Josh had to do what he needed to do, but they've really got to look at this team and say, if this is what our offense is going to look like for the rest of the season,
yeah,
Josh is one hit away from it all just falling apart.
yeah. Yeah, this
You
like
know,
we're talking about how the Colts could be derailed by Daniel Jones' injury. But at least the Colts have Taylor, they have Warren. There's other pieces there. The Bills would be completely up Schitt's Creek without a paddle if something similar were to happen to Josh Allen.
yeah, because it's just James Cook and a bunch of I don't know what.
Yeah. Although
It's
We had a Keon Coleman sighting today, amazingly enough.
you get one every like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you sit there and you're like, okay, this kid could be good. And then he just screws something up, doesn't make a meeting, or just something happens. And it's like, all right, well, so much for him. The tight ends I think they're good. They're not consistent. And yeah, James Cook. So if you want someone just to hand the ball to James Cook, 20, 30 times, then there you go. That would be your offense
Yeah.
without Josh Allen. So at the end of the day, Buffalo's going to do what Buffalo's going to do, but you're playing with fire. You're playing with fire with this team now.
And speaking of James Cook, I'm going to redon my lunar satellite reception headwear for a moment.
For all you young kids back in the day, that's how you would get TV stations or your radio. Rabbit ears.
Rabbit ears, yeah. Comes complete on Sunday Scaries with Buccs McGee. Subscribe to our Patreon.
Get
So,
the limited edition nutmeg hat right there.
for the fine one-time price of $8.99. So, the FBI likes to investigate the NBA for rigging games. There might be some evidence in this Bills Bengals game to do the same because the Bills at one point charge it down the field. James Cook busts off a long run, calls a touchdown on the field, winds up getting called back because he fumbles it out of bounds. There's some penalty that winds up not being at the 1 yard line. They go right back to the 1 yard line, and what happens? James Cook fumbles again. It's like, what is this? 2 fumbles in the red zone when the Bills are about to take the lead. Sure enough, game continues. And to top it off, like we implied with this kind of mystical switcheroo of Josh Allen and Joe Burrow's performance in this one from the first 3 quarters to the fourth quarter. And Joe Burrow throws 2 ungodly interceptions in this game to the defensive line. And they weren't even tipped passes. They were just terrible throws. And it's like, okay, so who's took the money line on it? Did James Cook take the Bengals money line, or did Joe Burrow take the Bills money line? Like, how is that excusable in any sense of the imagination for Joe Burrow to throw 2 interceptions off of the game he's otherwise had, which basically seals the deal for Buffalo at this point?
It's the Bungles, man. You're asking for answers to, yeah. Let's literally, this is an organization that doesn't believe in logic, and Joe, for whatever reason, threw 2 picks. Like you could say, maybe the weather had something to do with it, but who knows? Maybe Joe's looking to make a little extra cash on the side. Who knows? But at the end of the day, it's the Bengals. Nothing surprises me. They're going to continue to do these things, unfortunately, until they really figure out how to run an organization. There's no hope. That year of we almost beat the Niners in the Rams in the Super Bowl is long gone. No one cares. Foregone conclusion. The shine on Joe Burrow honestly needs to come off now. He's just like Lamar and everybody else who hasn't won. It's time to move on. Yeah, the guy can put up stats, but can't win the big one right now. So, like I said, it was snow. It wasn't the best conditions. It was an ugly game. I think the game still would have been ugly regardless.
Yeah. Speaking of Lamar, and don't worry, it won't come back for the rest of the show.
Yeah, that's what you say now. You lie.
I don't have it. I don't have anything more planned for it to come back for the rest of the show. Let's say that.
So as long as I don't say anything to trigger it, we're good.
That's true. Don't trigger me.
We'll throw that script out. I guess I'm going to have to free ball this one. All right. Go ahead. Next.
So speaking of Lamar, like you said, Joe Burrow's into the same camp as Lamar Jackson now as far as expectations and never succumbing to, the realization of those. This one against the Steelers was bad. I mean, we spent the entire pregame dumping on the Steelers, how they're washed up. Rodgers really doesn't have anything left, and somehow Rodgers grinds this one out and closes it out. And the final drive, Baltimore had a chance, but Lamar just, whatever the it factor that Lamar has had in over the course of his career and 2 most valuable player awards, it's not there.
Lamar is on a pace to be the greatest regular season quarterback of all time, and after that, it's whatever. Really, let's be honest. Yes, MVP, that's great. Athletically gifted beyond belief. Not going to take anything away from him or anything like that. But when it comes to getting the job done, he just can't do it. And at this point, yes, at first you always look at the players, but now you really have to look past the players and say, what's the culture there? Because Let's be honest, all that talent and you can't beat the Steelers.
And this Steelers, not any Steelers, not the normal Steelers, this Steelers.
Yeah, it wasn't like you were going against Big Ben and Jerome Bettis and the Funky Bunch. It's geriatric Aaron Rodgers, who rushed for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And a hodgepodge of talent that was picked off of scrap heaps off other teams. And they beat you pretty handily.
Yeah, DK Metcalf came back from the grave for one game.
Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell has been a phenom for this team like you wouldn't believe, but they somehow figure it out and beat the Ravens. The Ravens are an absolute joke and farce, and that's why they rule. They rule the penthouse. That's why they are the fraudulent penthouse owners. They can rent it out, sublet it, whatever you want to call it. It's ridiculous. No one is scared of the Ravens anymore. That's great. Lamar can run around, do his thing, and do nothing. You have Derrick Henry, who still has wheels. Can't figure out how to use him. If I'm Derrick Henry, I'm like, how the hell do I get out of here? Whatever. Take your money back. Let me go somewhere where I think I can just get to the playoffs. Because at this point, I don't think you're making the playoffs.
No. And I really hope NFL Network does a revisit to Steve Mariucci, where he went through their big board, the Ravens' remaining schedule, and he goes, win, 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 win. He finally like gives them a loss, some random Steelers game down the line, and then win, win. And, like he has them win like 10 straight games and 14 of the last 15 or whatever it was at the time. I really hope they do a revisit to that because he's got to be eating his words at this point. Which I will add, Sunday Night Football this week, Jason Garrett still puts his money on the Ravens. What is wrong with the NFL media right now?
No, it's Jason Garrett. We know how that all worked out and such, but I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I said, I'm not NFL smart, but I think the most common person could sit there and say, all right, if you guys got your tails handed to you by this Steelers team, which isn't good, but you still think they're going to win the division, you have at it. But I'll tell you this, if they do win the division, you better pull your little silver hat out because there's something up with that.
Yes, I would totally agree with that. I won't put it
I
on.
will wear one.
I'll tease it into the
I will make a nice one. I'll shoot, man. I'll get music to play out of it, smoke, whatever. Because I'll tell you, then the NFL is rigged. Because there's no way that this Ravens team should scare anybody.
No.
Isaiah Likely had a touchdown taken away. Our yearly Isaiah Likely, and then no touchdown. The man, I swear, is allergic to the end zone. Just can't figure it out.
Whether by his own design or the officials.
He's done something wrong. He's done something to somebody's cornflakes because he can't buy a touchdown.
And the extra rub on this one, they kind of remembered that Derrick Henry was on the roster. He had 100 all-purpose yards, but it was the quietest 100 all-purpose yards you've ever seen. It didn't really factor in the game.
Dude, literally, first half of the season, the man's running like nothing. You're like, oh, because there's always that little bit of, okay, is Derrick Henry going to start to slow down? We're waiting for it to happen, and it doesn't happen, and he's just plowing people down, doing his thing. You would think the way that they've used him this year that the guy can't run anymore, that he's almost like Zeke Elliott from back in the day when he was like in New England and just couldn't do anything. It was just, okay, maybe he can get us, something from the 2-yard line. It's sad. Zay Flowers is a joke. Absolute ridiculous. It's sad. This Ravens team does not scare anybody, and it's just going to get worse.
And the sad part is, in that scenario of the rig job Ravens making the playoffs, you have to wonder. Yes, you have to wonder why the league would even want that, because they're going to get to the playoffs and get annihilated.
Because it's Lamar, 2-time MVP. Whoop-de-doo. Okay, one and done. That's great. I got 2 Super Bowls, but I'm good for a one and done. Okay, thanks. See you later.
Funny, followers of Sunday Scaries know we were Lamar Jackson fans for quite a while. I think that ship has now left port.
Never again, man. I sat there and beat the drum for them. I was like, oh yeah, here we go. They're the team that's going to take out the Chiefs. No, the Chiefs just take themselves out. I just should have rooted for them. They can't play themselves out of a paper bag anymore. I should have just rooted for them.
Yeah, we didn't even have to root against the Chiefs.
They did to themselves. I'm like, all right, forget Lamar. I'll just root for Patty Mahomes. He'll do it himself. Whatever.
Now the northern first place battle that actually did live up to the hype, at least in terms of excitement, was Bears and Packers. But
yes.
Am I the only one, or did you also watch this game constantly, like the Packers run out a lead and you're like, okay, I don't trust them. And then the Bears rush back and tie the game. It's like, okay, they got the momentum, but I still don't trust this right now. Like, did you have this kind of, I don't want to say anxiety, but for lack of a better word, about the progress of the game flow of this?
It was like, who wants to win? Who wants to be the winner? Because like you said, like there were points in this game where I'm like, oh, the Packers are about to blow the doors off. I'm like, oh, I said, because I said, you know what? I jinxed the Bears because I was like, oh, the Bears are real. I gave them their flowers. I was like, no, the Bears are figuring it out finally. And then, you'd see like Josh Jacobs bust one, and I'm like, oh man, it's getting leaky over here. And then the Bears would turn around and score, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, it's getting good. Yeah. So I think what it came down to is, I'm going to say experience. I just think that the Packers just are a little more veteran. We're able to figure it out. Caleb throws the interception in the end zone, trying to make something happen. He's still young. He's going to make these mistakes. So I don't fault them for it. I'd rather him throwing and trying to make something than that whole stupid scrambling around and like fumbling and doing some stupid mess, really bad. I give the Bears credit. They went toe to toe with the Packers. I still don't believe in the Packers right now. I still don't. I think they're good, but there's always that game where, like, next game, are they gonna like handle business, or are they gonna lose by like 14? And I'm gonna be like, yep, same old Pack. Here you go.
Yeah.
But I give the Bears credit. They're tough. They hung in there with them. They hung with the Pack, and in a hostile environment, give them credit. I think it just gives them more. It gives them more going forward. They're going to be a lot more confident. And if they meet again, could be a different scenario.
As of now, I think they are slated for round 3 in the first round, in the wild card round.
And if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow the Bears pull off some magic. I think they're good, and they're just going to learn from this. They're a team, I think, that's really built for long-term success.
Now, a few years ago, you you gave me quite the razzing over my labeling of the Titans' #1 seed as backdooring their way into a #1 seed. Do you recall this conversation, sir?
I might vaguely remember a little something. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now you'll see where I'm going with this. Would you put the same note on the Packers as far as, could you put the moniker on the Packers as backdooring their way into a division title?
I don't think so. I don't know if they're backdooring it. It's not like all those teams are like 7-6, and it's like they've got a good record. I don't think they're backdooring it. It's not their fault that Minnesota totally screwed the pooch with their quarterbacks. Like, it's not their fault.
Who actually, J.J. McCarthy actually had a sign of life today and looked like a professional NFL player.
Yeah. 13 weeks too late.
Broken clock's right twice a day, except so far it's only been right once a day.
Exactly. We didn't think the Lions were going to fall apart like they have. Now they're, mediocre. And that's weird to say. So I don't think they backdoored it. They've just played their schedule, and it's them and the Bears, and that's it right now. The Lions are somewhat in the rearview mirror still, but I don't think they backdoored their way. Just everybody else just fell off a freaking cliff.
And the Packers, despite their best efforts to fall off the same cliff, have somehow stayed afloat.
And the thing is, they have talent. That's the thing. There's talent on the Packers. It's just, can they just be consistent? That's, with the talent on this team, if you told me they were, 12-2, I'd be like, yeah, look at that talent. Look what they've got. But there are just certain games where you're like, what? They just don't have, they can't finish the job. But they needed a little Caleb interception help at the end of the game to do it. So I think they're slowly starting to figure it out. Their defense is still solid. They've just got to make sure that the run game and the pass game are clicking, once the playoffs start. But no, there's no backdoor in there. They're a decent team.
Oh, and I really had to try very hard not to bite my lips on that interception to seal the game, because we saw him do his little scramble thing that you lament him quite a bit for with that earlier touchdown to Loveland, where he's kind of like falling down on his back leg and just throws up a duck. It just so happened that the Packers forgot about Colston Loveland. But that interception, he had the defender beat. Caleb just short armed it. Like, that was a touchdown. That should have been a tie game. We should have really been in overtime.
Caleb has those moments where, it's almost like Jordan Love. He has those moments where he's great and he's decisive and he delivers it. And then there are those plays where it's like, why would you throw that? Why are you trying to do that? Now, mind you, Love has gotten better. He's gotten better, but it's still in the back. It's still in the back of your mind when you're like, oh, he's gonna throw something bad, right? This is it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure, Ben Johnson's gonna sit Caleb down come Monday and say, all right, here we go again. He pulls out a spinning top, spins it, and says, all right, watch this top. And then once the top starts to slow down and starts going all over the place, janky, he's like, that's what you played. Like, you were tight till that certain point, then you turned janky, you threw the pick and ended it. He's got to learn that he doesn't have to do everything himself. You've got guys, change it up, audible out, figure something out. But when you're running around like that and you just start hucking stuff, this isn't Madden, man. It doesn't always work.
We may have lost my train of thought.
Put your hat back on. Put your hat back on. You'll be all right.
Yeah, Packers. What did I lose? So I do want to make one positive note on the Packers before we move on, because I've been one to trash Christian Watson a lot over the years. Like, the man is always hurt, very inconsistent, and more than just the typical Packers. They've got 6 options. It's always a different one every game, aside from the Devontae Adams era. But Christian Watson over the last few weeks has been very consistently looking like a wide receiver 1.
He's their deep threat. He really is. Like, he has the talent to be the clear-cut number 1. He just has to stay on the field. He just needs to be healthy. And that's been the problem. So if he can stay healthy, and you got Tucker Kraft and you get these other guys, coming back healthy, like those receivers, like, they're going to have a potent offense. There's going to be a point where they're going to have to let somebody go, because these guys are going to perform to the point where the Packers aren't going to pay all these guys, because we know how the Packers are. Like, they will only put out money when they absolutely have to.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a point, Watson will get paid. Wicks will get paid, Tucker Kraft will, but there are these other guys who are talented who may just end up walking because they're gonna want to get paid, and it's not gonna happen. So right now they've got these young guys on rookie contracts. This is the window. Now. If they're gonna contend for a Super Bowl and win one, now's the time, because in a couple of years they're gonna have to make some tough choices.
Yeah. So Packers Ravens, the most obvious rigged Super Bowl in the history of humanity, huh? Anyway.
Oh, if it happens, I'm telling you, I'll have my hat with you. I'll believe it. And we'll start talking about Canadian football, folks. I'm sorry. If y'all love, the Alouettes or whatever they got up there, that's what we're talking. Because I'm done with it.
All right, now we're going to have a little fun with a game we like to play on this show. It is called Whoop!
Extra Point. It is good.
I need to employ a YouTuber to make us a little interstitial for that.
That's it, man. Yeah, it's gotta be homemade. I'm not trying to get flagged because they want to play some easy or something, and I'm like, dang, man.
That's right. All right. Bad teams that just don't know when to keep losing. The Tennessee Titans. They go into the dog pound, and they did this once before. They've got 2 wins on the season. They're both on the road. They somehow beat Cleveland, and this is a real black eye for the Browns, because the one bright spot about the Browns this year has been their defense, and they get lit up by Cam Ward.
Just took a matter of time before Cam Ward was going to have a solid game, and it was going to be like, that's the reason we drafted him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was against Cleveland because it's Cleveland's all defense and no offense. Cleveland's like this, just score us 7 points and we'll take care of the rest. Because right now, Shedeur has played decent. I'll give Shedeur credit. Shedeur has played decently, last 2 games. I'll give him credit. But everyone just cares about the sack record now with Myles Garrett. That's all this is. It's just about the sack record. That's the only reason Cleveland fans even care. At this point, they're just going there to see him get a sack because that's the hype right now that they've got. But give Tennessee credit. They've got to give their fans something. They're building a new stadium. Hopefully this maybe, will help Cam, figure some things out and finish the season off strong. But it's Cleveland. Of course they do those things.
Which I would have thought that this would have been the game for Myles Garrett to really – I doubt that he would have broken it in one game, but at least had a big, strong, dominant performance to put himself on the cusp of the record because Tennessee's offensive line is not good. It's been banged up this season. So, even if Shedeur was average at best, I still would have thought that Myles Garrett by himself could have wrecked the Titans enough to preserve a Cleveland win. This is just an embarrassment.
Put your hat on. I'm telling you, you can't have them have a massive game right now. You gotta sell tickets. You gotta sell tickets. So you gotta somehow get Cleveland on a national game so he can break the record. Come on now. He's got to get flexed. That's what's gonna happen.
The 4-9 or whatever they are Browns flexed into Sunday night primetime just to watch Myles Garrett beat Michael Strahan.
Why not? Someone's going to want to watch it.
Yeah, well, we joke around with the primetime selection this season. At this point, the quality of the game wouldn't necessarily stray far from the quality of the primetime games we've generally had this season.
You know what? Put it on Thursday night. Give it to Amazon. They're used to it.
Yeah. No, Amazon games have been good lately. They're in a groove right now.
They got lucky because the Lions fell apart and now we're in a dogfight. That's how they got lucky. But it's just you were hoping that Cam was going to have a decent game because rookie quarterbacks. It's either you either have like a somewhat solid season or you just really just screw the pooch. And Tennessee was just all year just they fought, they just couldn't put it together. And they were able to hold off a Cleveland defense and win. Gotta give them credit.
All right, Buccs McGee, I know I made you wait until the end of the show, but our other extra...
Yeah, that's some shady mess right there, dude. That's some shady mess, but that's all right. I got you, buddy. I got you.
Well, hey, you get to end the show on this glorious rant that I know you're about to unload as an absolutely disgusting game in Tampa Bay, rain and mud and muck galore, and somehow Tyler Show leads the Saints to a victory over your Bucks.
I've just never seen such ass coaching in all my life. It just made no sense to me. Makes no sense to me that this literally they just threw the ball in the middle of the field and no adjustment. We're just going to let them throw the ball down the field. Tyler Shucks running for touchdowns. Don't know how that's happening. It just no sense whatsoever. No sense whatsoever in this game. Yes, horrible weather. I get it. But with the talent on this team, there's no reason for it. So at this point, I hope they don't make the playoffs. I'm telling you right now, I hope Carolina Panthers sweep us. Carolina Panthers, go on a magical run. Go ahead. Do your thing. If that's what I got to do to get Todd Bowles out of my sight, so be it. It's a joke. Todd Bowles inherited a Super Bowl team and has just screwed the pooch. The front office isn't immune to this either, mind you. I love Jason Light. I was honored, met him once. Cool cat. But you need a pass rush. And you thought Hassan Reddick on a one-year deal was going to give you that? No. Like really, like because you thought Hassan Reddick was gonna want to play for a contract since he screwed the Jets over and didn't want to play for them and sat out. You've got linebackers that can't cover. Love Levante David, but today weather was bad and all. But if he comes back, I'd be shocked. I think this is it for him. It's time to sit there and look at this team and say, with this talent that is on this team, especially offensively, you can't beat the Saints. Come on, that's an absolute joke. So go ahead, Carolina, do your thing. I'll root for you. Dave Canales, baby. Dave Canales, that's my boy. You know, it's sad because you just sit there and you watch it and you're like, really? This is like a game of Madden. It's like literally, I'll just control one guy in the middle. I'd have 4 picks. I could have just stood in the middle of the field. I would have had like 3 picks in the game. Like it makes no sense.
When you're picking plays, it's just QB spy every time. QB spy.
Yeah, that's it. Like it made no sense. Like literally, the fourth quarter, they were a 3rd down converting machine, and it just was like, okay, this ball's going right here. Can't stop them. Like it just, I don't get it. And I knew the game was bad right off the bat because our special teams is a ass. Kickoff, guy returns the kick for like 50-something yards. I'm like, yep, this is over. Yep, it's already starting. It's just there needs to be a new voice. There's talent on this team. There's no reason it should be like this. And if the Glazers don't realize that, then what's going to happen is this talent that you have is just going to end up moving on. You're going to waste the last few years of Mike Evans. And then after that, we're going to be back to those 2 in like 14 days when like Jeff Garcia was running the show. Mike Glennon in like the highlight of it. Mike Glennon, dude. I remember watching Mike Glennon. I saw him like whoop up the Falcons like 42-10. All right. Like that's what this is going to become real quick. So if that's what you want, Tampa, hey, that's fine. Do what you got to do, man. But it is what it is.
It's been a while since you had a Todd Bowles rant. I thought I had gotten to the point where I thought you just accepted that he was there. My heart missed this.
It's because when you've got an offense that can put points up like this team can. Oh, and Emeka, catch a touchdown, bro. Wide open. I know it was raining, but come on, dude. On fire beginning of the season and just I don't know what. Like Baker's had some miss. Like, believe me, Baker's been off a little bit out. But I'll tell you this, man. I'll go to war with that man. Any day of the week. But, like, the situation with Todd is it's like, okay, yeah, well, we got to do this. Yeah, we got to do that. You know, show some fire. Like, let me see it. Because you can tell me it, but you're the guy who controls the defense. And your defense is horrible because all you do is blitz. Like, I understand it. Every announcer, oh, yeah, he comes up with the most exotic blitzes, blah, blah, blah. Don't blitz because you can't get to the quarterback. We had like 2 sacks. We got lucky. That's because Villa pulled 5 guys on his back and was able to get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Like, no. Like, drop back in coverage. That is, well, we can't even do that, right? Because we got guys who can't cover for squat. It's ridiculous. I don't understand it. So it is what it is. Like I said, wouldn't surprise me if Carolina sweeps this because Carolina is going to be hungry. Carolina is going to be hungry because they can taste it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. And hey, maybe, like I said, maybe we just got to get smacked, finish, 7-11 and call it a day. Maybe, just outside the lottery numbers, I'll take, pick 14, 15. Find some defense to drop our way and just move on. But this team is not good.
And it's also hard to really blame the weather too, because when you think bad weather, you think, okay, this is going to be a run-heavy game. I mean, Sean Tucker was a bulldozer a couple times. They didn't use him a lot, but when he was on the field, he ran people over. Bucky Irving got out. It's a couple times off a short pass, mind you, but he was able to grind some dirt a little bit. So I mean, you can't even necessarily use the bad weather as an excuse either.
No, but here's the problem: the play calling on those 4th downs. Because now in the league, if you're on the 49-yard line, you got to go for it. You just go.
Thank you, Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, because that's what that's what the analytics say. But my little analytic book tells me when to go and when not to go. Because why would I use my sense in my eyes and maybe a gut feeling? Whatever.
Yeah.
So you go for it, fine, whatever. But you run right up the middle. They know what you run up the middle, like 3/4 downs, right up the middle. I'm sure you could throw a slant to Chris Godwin. I'm sure you could figure something out. Cade drops Otten would probably catch something, and he's a winner too. He's another one who needs to kick rocks. I can't handle it. Cade Otten, whatever. Let's run to the first down and make sure we have the first down before we fall and catch the ball. But that's besides my point. But yeah, you run the ball right up the middle on 4th down. They're going to stop it. I don't care who you are. The play calling on those have been suspect, but at the end of the day, it starts with Todd Bowles. And if he can't get it right, then he needs to go. You know what? Send him somewhere. Give me Mike Tomlin. Give me Mike Tomlin.
Wow.
Give me Mike Tomlin. I think if Mike Tomlin were to come to Tampa, things would be different for Mike Tomlin. I do.
The homecoming of Mike Tomlin.
That's right.
From the 2002 Super Bowl world champions, the homecoming.
Bring me Mike Tomlin. I'd be cool with it. I'd be cool with it. Why not? It can't be any worse than what I got here with Todd Bowles. Yeah.
Well, Buccs McGee, I must ask, because this would reschedule our normal pregame show. Will you be in person to root for Todd Bowles' eventual firing this Thursday against the Falcons?
Honestly, I don't know. Literally to see what I saw. I'm sure a Falcons fan will buy them tickets for $400. Why do I want to drive an hour and a half and be pissed and then drive home and be angry when I can just sit home because I got the next day off and just get lit and just scream at the TV and then just pass out and go to bed? No, I don't have to put miles on my car. For real. I don't know. I have to I literally have to think about this because I'm telling you, it's a sad state, man. It's a sad state.
Oh, what? The salty fan is back. The salty fan is back. We've got him.
I just want effort. That's all it is. If it had just come to a fluke play or something, fine. I get it. I might not like it, but I can understand it. But literally, this is what the defense has done the last 2 years or so, and now it's really bad. So now it's something's got to give. Something's got to give. But hey, if you want to get me lottery picks, so be it, man. We'll suck, and then just turn it around. Whatever. Hey, like I said, pitchers and catchers are reporting soon. Well, a couple months, whatever. I got San Antonio. I got the alien. He's bringing me good vibes. I don't need this.
Indeed, Bucks McGee. And despite how you brought up my spirits, I also feel like I'm turning my attention towards the New York Knicks and other sports as well. So, sir, take us off air as Week 14 brought us some heartache, but also some realizations in the NFL.
Well, sometimes you just got to know what your team is, and you get to that point in life, Week 14, so be it. I'll still root, but, I have tempered expectations, and you have to have those in your life. So, Bucks fans, it is what it is. Just take it on the chin and move on. Bears fans, I'm impressed. You guys lost, but hey, the effort was there. Caleb, stand a little bit more. Don't run around like a chicken with your head cut off. You'll be all right. Buffalo, y'all are a joke. I'm tired of this. You guys are the new Bengals. And oh, you Ravens. Oh, that's what you get. Fraudulent penthouse owners, congratulations. And hey, Steelers, look at that. You survive another week. Go figure.